Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. Wow, I cannot believe it's Friday already. Welcome to day 5 of Flourish training. Today we're going to be talking about the surefire way to stay on track as you're trying new things and as you're managing your thoughts. If you haven't figured out by now, it is all about thought work. It is all about managing whatever it is you're thinking. And so today, I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a little bit of show and tell. I'm going to pull the whiteboard over, and I'm going to show you this brilliant way to really explore your thoughts and see how they determine your results. This is a thought model created by a woman named Brooke Castillo of the Life Coach School. She is brilliant. I follow all of her work. I'm a self-coaching scholar at the Life School. And so let's just get started. Let's hop on it. I'm going to pull my whiteboard over. Hold on. Okay, I think you can see that. All right, awesome. Let me maybe do this. See if we can figure out how to see both me and the whiteboard. Maybe if I sat down. Yeah, there's a little reflection there, but can't have it all. This is what we're working with. Okay. So this, again, is called the model. Literally, Brooke just calls it the model. It is a thought model. And let me just check this. Okay, good. Okay, circumstances. We all have circumstances in our life. And I want you to realize that anything that happens in our life is just a thing. And it is neutral. It is a fact. But it isn't positive or negative until we attach thoughts to it. Whatever we're thinking about our circumstance, we think it's either positive or negative. Right? Isn't that crazy? And I'll give you examples, but let me keep going with this. So our circumstance create our thoughts. And man, we have a lot of thoughts. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot. Our thoughts trigger our feelings. Okay, so what's the difference between a thought and a feeling? A thought is just a thing that happens in your brain. A feeling, if you remember back to an earlier lesson, is a vibration in your body, right? And if you remember, we talked about thinking about emotions as different rungs on a ladder, and way down at the bottom are the lowest vibration feelings: despair, hopelessness, depression, powerlessness. And then at the top, joy and love. Like, those are the best. So we have to be careful about what we're thinking to get the feelings that we want. But regardless, whatever it is that we're feeling, whatever's happening in our body is going to trigger our actions. What we do in general is try to fix things from our actions. And yes, our actions are important, but you really have to start with your feelings, what's happening in your body. Again, I'll talk more about that. Let me just keep going. And then whatever we do, whatever action we take, and sometimes action is inaction. Sometimes we don't do anything, but that's an action. And whatever it is that we do, we get the results, right? So if we think of the circumstance, if we go back to a couple of days when I painted a picture for you about a woman who was a CPA climbing the corporate ladder on her way to be a VP, but what she really wants is to dig her hands in the dirt and become a master gardener. That would make her happy. That would help her feel fulfilled. So the circumstance is like a class. That's literally just a thing, right? And she has choices about how to think about it. Some thoughts are, I can't possibly do it. I don't have time. That feels like impossible. I don't have the money. Those are going to create feelings of frustration, hopelessness. Actions is that she's going to do nothing. She's not even going to look around, try anything. And the results are that things stay the same. Now, the results always provide evidence to our thoughts. Evidence. Okay. So if you end up with things exactly the same, where you're not doing anything, you're not taking the class, you haven't figured it out, that provides evidence to the thought, I can't possibly take that class. I don't possibly have a way, right? And a lot of times these thoughts and these results just loop around and around and around in our heads. All right, what I'm going to do now is show you how to use the model to get the results that you want. All right, I'm going to simplify things. I'm going to say circumstance is a C, thought is a T, feelings F, actions A, R, results. All right, or I'm going to kind of do a before and after. And this is a real example from my life I'm currently working on, and that is my weight. So that is my circumstance. Circumstance is totally neutral. My weight is neither positive or negative. It's just a number on a scale. It's just cells in a body until I attach thoughts to it, right? And so I've wanted to drop a few pounds. And I've been thinking about this forever, right? And the thought that I just kept thinking was, it's hard, right? I've lost weight in the past before. I would white knuckle it. I would feel miserable. I did it, but it was hard. And so the thought of doing that all over again makes me feel very unmotivated. And uninspired. Uninspired. And so the action that I would take is nothing. I didn't change anything. So guess what? The results, things stayed the same. Stay the same. Providing evidence to the thought, it's hard, right? And so this is a thought loop that I had. Like you can call it a spin cycle, okay? But then something changed for me. And I went to a retreat. And I was surrounded by amazing, inspiring women. We were all different ages. We were all different from forms of life. And there were women there, and their area of expertise was weight loss. They were weight coaches. And they looked amazing. I'm like, oh, wow. I got inspired. And so I decided to choose different thoughts. So the circumstance is exactly the same. We're still talking about weight, what my number is on the scale. So after I saw these women, I learned a little bit more about what they do. My thought was, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. Right? Like, that feels very different in my body, then it's hard. The other thought I had is, I can do hard things. I have done so many hard things in my life. I can do it. I've handled it. I've handled shit, y'all. I've done it. I can do it again. And then I had the thought, what if I made it easy? What if it wasn't hard? What if it was easy? Like, that's an interesting thought, right? So when I think these thoughts, if those women can do it, I can do it. I can do hard things. And what if it was easy? Then I began to feel excited. I got motivated. And I did get inspired. And so instead of doing nothing, instead of inaction, I started doing things, and all the things that I did, I made them easy, right? So I have a friend of mine who told me about I don't know, maybe close to 60 days now, that she was trying intermittent fasting. And so I reached out to her in a Facebook message, and I said, how's it going? And she said, it's great. She's lost a lot of weight. I want to say 15 or 18 pounds or something in 60 days. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And she sent me a screenshot of like a before and after, and I could see the difference in her face. It was amazing. So what I did was I asked a friend. That was my first action. Like, how's it going? What is that doing for you? Totally easy, right? That was not hard. In the screenshot that she sent me, I noticed that it was from a group about intermittent fasting. That's where she had posted the picture. So then I went to the group and I joined it. Also easy. So then I started reading other people's posts and getting inspired by their results. I'm like, oh, this is really kind of great. Then I decided, you know what? I'm going to try it. I made that decision, and then I started intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. It's been, I checked this morning, 21 days, and I've lost a solid 4 pounds. Like, it goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit in the last few days. Right now I'm kind of micro checking, probably not good, but I'm just excited. Like, it's not triggering me to feel bad about myself if it goes up a little bit, and it's just kind of slow and steady, and I like that because I feel like it is going to come off. So I have 9 more pounds to lose. That's my goal. I think I know I can do it. So my results so far is that I've lost 4 pounds. Oh, another thing I did was I hired a personal trainer. Also very easy. I go to the Y. I know this trainer, literally send him a message. He's like, when do we get started? And I've been doing it, right? I love to work out. I love exercise. So it's more fun with him twice a week than doing it on my own all of the time. All right, so now if you compare these two models, circumstance, exactly the same. Thoughts are different. The thoughts of it's hard made me feel unmotivated, uninspired. I didn't do anything, things stayed the same. When I thought, if those women can do it, I can do it. I can do hard things. And what if it was easy? I got excited, motivated, inspired, and then I started doing things. And I made it easy. Now, when I doing the intermittent fasting, do I get hungry sometimes? I do. My body hasn't completely adapted. If you don't know what intermittent fasting is, let me explain that super quick. It's where you decide a food window of your day. Like, I'm only going to eat during these hours, and all of the rest of the time I'm not going to eat. So right now, my eating window is between noon and 8 p.m. So I don't eat anything before lunchtime. And from what I understand, my body will adapt and I will never even be hungry in the morning. But right now I still am. But I'm okay with it because I remind myself that I can do hard things. And being hungry is not the end of the world. I'm not going to die. I'm going to eat in a couple hours. And it also comes in waves. Like, I might feel hungry for a little bit and then it just goes away. So I also remind myself of that. So hopefully you can start to see how literally the only different thing I did was change my thoughts, right? And so often we try to accomplish goals just in the action line, but what do I want to say? If we're only taking action, but we're not backing up to take note of what we're thinking and how we're feeling, a lot of the times, unless you're white knuckling it, it doesn't stick, if that makes any sense. Okay, so all of our power is right here in the T line, our thoughts. And this is why I encourage all of you and all of my clients to do thought work, all this thought work. All right, let's look at another example. Well, we'll put those back in. This was interesting. I had a client and she'd been married a long time. She wasn't super in love with her husband. And in fact, he just drove her crazy, just about everything he said and did. And one thing that was a point of contention for her week after week after week was taking out the trash. Okay, remember, trash is a circumstance and trash is neutral. It's not until she started thinking about it that made the trash feel very negative for her. So her thought was, my husband should take it out. She created that expectation. He should do it. His job. And every time she thought that, because she ended up taking out the trash. So when he didn't do it, or even just thinking about it, she would feel resentful. And she would get angry. And she was very definitely frustrated. Right? So what she did as a result is either, move this down a little bit, pick a fight, yell at him, or give him the cold shoulder. And the result is that she would take out the trash. I mean, actually, I will say before the fighting, she would nag and she would tell him he had to do it. That's what would lead to the fight and the yelling and then the not talking to each other, which doesn't really help your relationship, right? If you're fighting week after week, having these feelings, fighting about the trash. So what I offered to her, I'm not sure she liked this offer, is that she thought the thought, I should take out the trash. Maybe not should. I can take out the trash, right? I can do it. So then those are very different feelings. You just might feel calm, right? You might feel like capable. Okay, maybe it's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but if I do it, it will get done, right? The actions was that she would not yell, not get in a fight, not give him the cold shoulder. She would just do it, right? Do it. And the results were the same. She took out the trash. But it's this middle part is a very different model. It's very, it's more improved on this side. Feeling calm and capable is a much better feeling, a higher rung of the ladder than resentful, angry, and frustrated. They didn't get in a fight. There was no cold shoulder. She did it anyway. In either model, she did it. But this is the difference, right in here, this middle part. All right. Hopefully that is making some sense. Now, the other thing about this model that I will offer is that you do not have to start at the top and work your way down. You can start in the middle. You can start at the end. Circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. All right, so let's think of something. Let's say you want to hike Katahdin, which is what I'm doing tomorrow. The highest peak in Maine. I think it's about a mile high. Hike Katahdin. And maybe maybe you haven't been exercising. Maybe you're a little bit of a couch potato. I don't know. You might work this model backwards to prepare to accomplish this, right? So you might start, and you think to yourself, if I want to accomplish this, what do I need to do to accomplish that result? I might start walking. Maybe I'm going to lift weights. Maybe I'm going to do some research. Like, what do I need to bring? What do I need to pack? Those kind of things. In order to do these actions, what do I have to feel? I have to feel maybe motivated. That's a good one. So in order to feel motivated, what do I have to think? Let me put the circumstance is the mountain, same as the result. So the thought is, it's totally possible I can figure this out. right? So see how you can start on the bottom and work your way backwards. You could also start in the middle and say, you know what? Things just aren't going for me. I find that most of the time I feel frustrated and discouraged and overwhelmed. What I really want to feel is happy. I want to feel peaceful. Peaceful. So in order for me to feel these feelings, what do I need to be thinking about? Right? And then you get to fill in the circumstance, and then you get to decide the actions and whatever result that you want. So that's today's lesson. I hope it was helpful. I teach this to all my clients. It's something that we revisit over and over again. This is work that I do almost every single day, whether it's about my business or, you know, weight loss or relationships in my life or, you know, whatever it is. I spend a lot of time looking at what I'm thinking and figuring out what I can think differently to get different results. That's all it is. For all my new clients that join, I send them in the mail this little book. It's super fun. I'm encouraging them to do their own thought models in between the times that we're meeting. I talk about all of the what I just shared with you, so they have a little reminder, and then we talk about things. Oh, and then I give them this little notepad. I call this their emergency kit. So, you know, stick the notepad in your purse or your bag or whatever. And then when you feel like you're having some mental drama or a little meltdown, you can do a quick thought model and try to talk yourself out of it or model yourself out of it so that you get up the ladder. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I can't believe we had almost 40 women in the group. That's amazing. I hope that you've learned some things that you can apply to your life right away, right now, and that you're feeling inspired and excited and hopeful. If at some point in your life you ever want to take this work deeper and work with me one-on-one, reach out to me. We'll figure it out. I'll tell you how I help my clients, and we'll just go from there. But in the meantime, come back to these videos anytime. I'm not going to close the group. They'll be there. And if you have any feedback for me, I would love to hear that. Shoot me an email or post in the group or Facebook Messenger, whatever. It's all good for me. So have an amazing weekend. Wish me luck as I climb Mount Katahdin tomorrow. And I'll talk to you guys soon.